Saudi Arabia just launched an airline with enough orders on the books to buy 182 aircraft. That's not a typo. That's more planes than most African countries have in their entire combined national fleets. And here's the question nobody in Lagos is asking yet. Should we be asking it? Because right now, if you want to fly Lagos to Riyadh, you can't do it directly. Not one airline offers it. Not Saudia, not Qatar, not Ethiopian on a direct routing. Today, if you want to fly Lagos to Riyadh, you're going to be connecting through Addis Ababa, Cairo, or Doha. So is Riyadh Air about to fix that? Or are we about to get skipped over again the same way half of Silicon Valley skips Lagos when they launch in Africa and main Nairobi and Johannesburg? I'm Oluwaseun. This is License to Thrill, and today we are breaking down what Riyadh Air is actually doing and whether Nigeria is anywhere on their radar. Riyadh Air is Saudi Arabia's second national carrier alongside Saudia. It's fully owned by the Public Investment Fund. That's the same sovereign wealth fund behind LIV Golf, Newcastle United, and roughly half the interesting things happening in Saudi Arabia right now. This isn't a scrappy startup. This is a state with genuinely enormous oil money deciding it wants to build a global aviation hub from scratch on purpose as a line item in Vision 2030. And they have actually launched. Revenue service started in June 2026 with the first flight to London Heathrow. That's important context. This isn't a 5 years away paper airline anymore. Planes are in the air right now with paying passengers. Here's the fleet number that should make every airline executive in this region pay attention. Up to 182 aircraft across firm orders and options. Boeing 787-9s, Airbus A350-1000s, and A321neos for shorter regional hubs. As of July 20, 2026 at the Farnborough Air Show, they converted 28 more 787 options into firm orders, which has pushed their confirmed Dreamliner fleet alone to nearly 70 aircraft. Compare that to literally any West African carrier. It's not close. It's not supposed to be close. That's the point. Let's talk about where they're actually flying, because the pace here is aggressive, even by Gulf carrier standards. And if you've watched Emirates or Qatar's playbook, you know that's saying something. Since launch, Riyadh Air has been stacking routes almost monthly. London Heathrow, the flagship launch route, Malaga, Spain, launched July 14, 2026, Kuala Lumpur, launching July 30, 3 times a week on the Boeing 787-9, Dhaka, Bangladesh, launching August 7. Manchester, originally planned, now pushed to September. And that's just what's confirmed. Behind the scenes, they filed network intent for 15 additional international routes through the Global Airport Slots Coordination process, which, quick translation for anyone who isn't an airline scheduling nerd, airlines have to tell airport authorities where they plan to fly months in advance to get landing slots reserved. It's not a guarantee, it's a declaration of intent, but it tells you where their head is at. And here's a detail I have to flag for credibility's sake, because this is research, not something I have personally verified in the field. Of those 15 markets, 12 are already served by other airlines. Cairo, for example, has multiple competitors. Lahore has 7 airlines flying it already. Riyadh Air isn't just opening blank markets. In most cases, they are walking into fights that already exist. The 3 genuinely unserved markets on their list, Jakarta, Madrid, and Manchester. That's it. Everywhere else, they are the new competitor, not the first mover. Now, here's where it gets personal for us. Cairo is already on Riyadh Air's radar. It's one of the early Boeing delivery showcase routes Boeing themselves highlighted, alongside London and Jeddah. So North Africa is in the plan. Cairo makes sense. It's a massive origin destination market and a connecting hub in its own right. But West Africa, Lagos, nothing. Not in the announced routes, not in the 15 market slot filing I could find. And I want to be straight with you, I searched hard for this because it's the exact question this channel exists to ask. There's currently no direct flight between Lagos and Riyadh on any airline, Riyadh Air or otherwise. If you are flying LOS to RUH today, you are going to be connecting through Addis Ababa on Ethiopian, Cairo on Egypt Air, or Doha on Qatar, and the shortest routing is still over 9 hours before you even account for the layover. So should Lagos be on Riyadh Air's radar? Well, let's actually think about this like an airline network planner would, not like a hopeful fan. The case for it: Lagos is the most populous city in Africa, a genuine business and diaspora travel market. And Nigerians already fly to Jeddah and Medina in huge numbers for Umrah and Hajj. That's a proven demand for Saudi Arabia as a destination, just currently captured almost entirely by Saudia, not Riyadh Air. If Riyadh Air wants premium, non-religious travel business and leisure demand out of West Africa, Lagos is the obvious first stop before anywhere else in the region. The case against it: Riyadh Air's whole model right now is long-haul premium linear routes to established wealthy markets like London, Madrid, Kuala Lumpur. Lagos Riyadh is a thinner, more price-sensitive market, and every Gulf carrier that already flies here, think Qatar, Emirates, Ethiopian, has spent a decade training Nigerian travelers to expect certain fares and certain onward connections. Riyadh Air will be entering last against entrenched competition in a market where their competitors already have loyalty programs locals actually use. My honest read, and I want to flag clearly that this is my opinion, not confirmed airline strategy. I think Lagos is a 2027 or 2028 story at the earliest for Riyadh Air, not a 2026 one. They are still proving out the long-haul premium routes to wealthy markets first. West Africa comes once they've got the wide body fleet size to stop cherry picking and start filling gaps. Here's why you should care even if you never set foot on a Riyadh airplane. Every time a new, heavily funded, ambitious carrier enters the game, it puts pressure on everyone flying into and out of your region. When Qatar Airways and Emirates were scaling up in the 2000s and 2010s, fares on competing routes moved, service standards moved, route networks got reshuffled because legacy carriers had to respond. If Riyadh Air genuinely scales to anywhere near that 182 aircraft fleet plan, that's a serious new hub competing with Doha, Dubai, and Addis Ababa for connecting traffic, including traffic that currently connects through those hubs to reach Lagos. That's not nothing. That's the kind of shift that eventually shows up in your first search results, even if the airline itself never touches Nigerian soil. And I'll be honest about the limits of what I can tell you here. This is a young airline. Route plans change constantly, and half of what I've covered today is still options and slot filings, not logged in service. I'll be tracking this one because it's genuinely one of the more interesting stories in aviation right now, and I want License to Trail to be the channel that catches it early from a Lagos point of view, instead of finding out about it from a UK creator's video 18 months from now. So, should Lagos be excited, worried, or just watching for now? My take? Watching with cautious optimism. The demand is there. The question is whether Riyadh Air's network planners see it yet. Drop your take in the comments. Do you think Lagos gets a direct Riyadh Air route before 2028? Or are we getting overlooked again? If this is the kind of aviation story you want more of, subscribe because I'm tracking every major career move that touches this region and nobody else is doing it from this angle. I'm Oluwaseun. Lessons to Trail. See you in the next one. Cheers.